Hey guys, I'm here with
Nicolia Wiles.
He's going to talk to us a little bit about the new innovation of drones that is competing in a sub $2,000, a well below $2,000 price point, right there along with DJI and 3DR and Yuneec.
So as of today, we're now called GDU, Global Drone Union. We used to be Pro Drone. We just recently had to rebrand because we had a bit of an international kerfuffle, if you will, with trademark issues. But instead of trying to fight that and keep it going, we wanted to get product out. So May 15th, we're going to have product finally shipping. We were looking at what a lot of these other companies, like DJI, of course, the grandmaster in the drone space, and then 3DR as well. We were looking at what did they do right, but we didn't want to copy that. We wanted to specifically look at what they did wrong and fix it. So the biggest complaint that we heard from everybody is, I can't simply carry this thing everywhere I want to go. It's too hard to take on a hike. It's too hard to take anywhere. I can't take a big Pelican box everywhere I go. So we made it foldable. We devised this so that everything completely all the way down to the gimbal is removable. The arms come out. Props fold completely all the way out. And you get a tremendous lift out of these things. About 4.5 pounds of lift. Now that means that you can carry a DSLR or a mirrorless camera and you're still moving just fine. Now nobody else in the marketplace can do that. The aspect of being able to remove the gimbals also means that all you have to do is buy one unit and you can use multiple cameras with you. Currently, here we would have a 1080 camera. We have also got a GoPro gimbal that you can use. We've got a 4K camera that provides high-level videography, production-level film, and we've got an IR camera. So for what we're shipping on May 15th would be the unit with the camera and gimbal. That'd be the 1080 camera and gimbal, and everything else you would ever need to fly with, right? A controller. We would get, with that also comes with the video downlink. So you don't have to buy a separate video downlink system. Transmission of 1,000 meters. So far more than anybody would ever look at needing for a $750 product.
How does it handle in high winds, or what's the wind capacities?
It's, again, one of the most powerful units on the marketplace with the rotors are the strongest. So wind is not a problem. Working in 35, 40 mile an hour winds is not a problem. It also has high grade heat, cold, humidity, and rain capabilities to even work in full on rain.
What was the flight time on that?
29 minutes. Now obviously we got something like a Sony A7. That's a very heavy, like 4.5 pound camera. That's going to reduce the flight time to about 10 to 15 minutes depending on how you're flying it. But we've got a full 7,000 milliamp battery. That's bigger than most everybody else out there. That's why we're able to get a better flight time.
What happens if if it crashes? What are some of the replacement parts, and how do you guys handle broken parts and so forth?
Sure thing. So we are going to be having a GDU only customer care unit in Austin, Texas. So you don't have to worry about high prices because you're working with somebody that's working with multiple vendors. It will be for VIP access, our units, the Byrd only. But realistically, this is a very, very rugged device, mostly because of the fact that the parts that typically break, like the arms and so forth, you won't find break with ours. If you run into a wall, you run into a tree, everybody else, so it locks in place, but you hit a tree or something, it will come this way and it won't break. And it will, even if this one goes out, with the three others, it'll still stay airborne enough that it'll come down without a hard crash. Most of the things that are ever going to go wrong with this are going to require somebody with at least a little bit of experience. So we would say that we would highly recommend you send it into our shop. We'll fix it for you. We're even going to have cameras in the customer care center so you can see what's going on a daily basis. We'll get it back to you very quick. probably about half the price of going with a third-party repair center. There's a full 1-year warranty. And anything that's under warranty is fixed for free, shipping's free, all that kind of stuff.
Even crashes?
Even crashes, if as long as it's still kind of considered under warranty. So if it's a major crash and is considered to be human error, then that will obviously void the warranty. But even at that point, because they're so rugged, it doesn't mean it's going to be a major fix. So what we'll do is we'll get it in, we'll immediately look at it, give a quick assessment of what it's going to cost to fix it, send that back to the person. They can then say yes or no. If it's no, we send the unit back to them.
As long as it's under the cost of the drone, then it's worth it, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very cheap. I mean, you can look at a lot of stuff like the Inspire. If it crashes, I've heard people $500, $600, $700, even $1,000 fixes. We're probably looking at $20, $30, $40 fixes on this thing. There's just not that much to fix on it.
Tell me a little about the ground station, how that works. Is it compatible with smartphones? Does it have its own controller? And how safe is it to fly for novices?
So, excellent question. So this is the control unit. This area here is where our little handheld system goes in. It's quite basic. But in that, you've got the ability to have your iPhone or your Android all the way up to a full iPad. So you can see everything that's going on. A couple other aspects that make it safer. About 80% of crashes happen right at takeoff or right at landing. This button allows for auto takeoff and auto landing. Now, also, return to home. If it's way away, you hit that and it'll bring it back. But right at that 10-foot radius, you hit this, takes up about 10 feet. Now you've got room to play with it. When you get it back into that room to play, hit it again, it brings it down for a full safe landing. Another aspect that we've got that nobody else does, through our USB connection, we can tether 2 of these controllers together. Now what that's going to allow for is the ultimate in training. That means one person who's training can be flying. The instant that the well-trained pilot sees a problem, when they touch their unit, all control goes over to the other unit. So when you're talking the ultimate in safety is having somebody else fly with you and having all the ability to really land a problem. Let's do it that way.
Is it that only used for training, or is it have the ability for having a camera operator and a pilot?
Sure. In this case, it would be really the majority be used for training. We don't want anybody to have to buy a whole separate unit just to control the gimbal. We allow that out of the app itself. In fact, we highly recommend it so that the person flying, the pilot, can be constantly trained on that device, while the other person can be standing 20 feet away, controlling from an iPhone, iPad, anything, controlling the gimbal. And this is called the standard, and it comes with our gimbal and our 1080 camera. The next step up would be the advanced, and that comes with a GoPro mount or a GoPro gimbal, fully interoperable with the GoPro, but obviously it doesn't come with the GoPro, and that's I want to say $1149. And then we've got our highest unit, which is our full 4K camera that's got beautiful video quality, and I'd say a little bit under what the Inspire would offer, and that one is $1349. Yeah, so we're going to be putting out announcements probably on a monthly basis for firmware updates as we're wanting to get some of the more advanced offerings in there. But we also want to be able to make sure that a lot of the beginner pilots don't have some issues like they've had with some of the more advanced, like the 3DR Solo. Some of the more beginner pilots have had problems with it being too feature rich. We want to be able to say, here's like our 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 offering, and you can pick how much you really want in there until you get advanced enough to go for the higher level ones. And the ease of use is everything, especially if you're going to be a person who doesn't have the time to put the time in to become a really, really excellent pilot. You do not want to put a Sony A7 on a device that you're unsure about flying. So you go with the waypoints, you put this thing down, you don't even touch it. You go to the waypoints, you hit a button, it takes off, it flies its routine, it comes back and lands itself.
Does it record to a memory card within the device, or is it record to the ground station, or how does that do?
It will record to both in the camera itself, like a memory card, but it can also very easily record to your ground station device as well. So a lot of the things that are out there, we've got the Follow Me, we've got the Orbital, we've got the Point of Interest. You know, when it really comes to drones and what we're seeing with so many new entrants coming into the market, the software is the easiest of all of this stuff. Everybody's done it, right? As soon as one person does it, it's very easy to replicate. The stuff that's hard is the hardware. Nobody else can replicate what we've done, folding, the all ability on that, the modularity. They would have to completely and 100% retool everything that they've done, and that takes months, if not years, to retool in a factory. Basically, we've made it so easy, you know, anybody can kind of do this stuff.